Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everything Arsenal. The Arsenal team traveled from California to Philadelphia yesterday, but one member of the team was missing, and that is Edu. He has been spotted back in England today, quite likely to finalize some deals, some incomings and outgoings. So it's time to discuss the latest transfer news, the latest on GYOKERES, the latest on Marino Calafiori, who's arrived in the USA yesterday as well. So a lot to discuss. Let's get started with Edu and the latest on him. So according to reports, Edu has returned to the UK from America. He has been spotted at the Heathrow Airport baggage reclaim. It could mean that a signing is imminent. So 100%. Now we are playing Liverpool on Thursday morning, and then the team heads back to England. Now, Calafiori has arrived in the USA. I'm expecting him to be announced sometime today or tomorrow, and then he'll probably make his debut against Liverpool. So he'll have a couple of days to train with the team. But for now, the rest of the players that you're about to sign are the players who are going to leave. It can be done in England. There's no need of traveling to the USA to finalize deals. So that is quite likely the reason why Edu has traveled back to England to get some deals done, not just in terms of incomings, but outgoings as well, probably to finalize deals of the likes of Smith Rowe and some incomings that you're going to discuss for sure. So that is the only reason I can think of, because he could easily have just traveled with the rest of the team to Philadelphia for the 4 days, and then he stayed there, and then he goes back with them to England. But no, it seems like they want to get a couple of deals done very, very quickly. And that is the reason why he's traveled back to England. So I'm very sure we're going to be cooking something the next 10 days. We're going to be getting a couple of signings and a couple of movements in terms of outgoings. I'm 100% sure about that one. But which players will that be? That is the main question. Which players will we be getting now? What's the latest on GYOKERES? On Friday, I told you guys that Arsenal are sending scouts on Saturday to watch Sporting play against Bilbao to keep an eye on the player that you're looking for the most, that is Victor GYOKERES. But what's the latest on him? Well, this is the latest on him from Graham Bailey. HITC can confirm that Arsenal scouts were in attendance to check on Victor GYOKERES in action against Bilbao on Saturday. GYOKERES has an £84 million release clause, but there is belief that Sporting CP could now accept a deal nearer £60 million. Now, could this be one of the reasons why Edu has traveled back to England quickly to get some results from the scouts and all that? You never know. That could be the reason. Now, there's no need of boring you in terms of how good GYOKERES is and how much Arsenal fans want him. You already know how many Arsenal fans want GYOKERES. Basically, almost the entire fan base. The Osimhen one is quite unlikely because of the money and the everything else involved. That is very unlikely. But for the GYOKERES one, it's still a huge possibility. At the moment, it's only Arsenal who's been talked about in terms of being linked to GYOKERES, and the money is not as high as Osimhen, and the attitude problems with Osimhen, I think that would affect his move to Arsenal, the wages and all that. It's pointing out to be GYOKERES more than Osimhen. But the question is, when would we be able to hear about a direct contact with the player, direct contact with the team, a fast bid, that terms agreed and all that? That will take a couple of weeks for sure. But at least we do know that you're following the player. That is the main thing. If you aren't talking about a strike at all, I know many people would be very sad and worried. But we are talking about GYOKERES. We've just sent scouts, which means we're definitely serious about him. Now, the reason why we're sending scouts is not really because we're not sure about the player and can he really score goals? Is he good enough? No. I think the main reason why we sent scouts there is because of the recent operation that he's had. So I guess they've sent scouts there to look at how he's recovered from that injury, and if it is worthwhile to make that bid for him or to try and sign him this transfer window. That would be the main reason why we sent scouts there. Now, I don't even know what the result was against Bilbao over the weekend, or how many minutes he played or whatever. Need to keep an eye on that one. But this is one that I'm expecting us to try and make a move for sure this week. When, I have no idea. Listen, we still have 3 weeks to go until the Premier League starts. So if you can get him in the next 2 weeks, absolutely fine. Even if you can get him in the last week before the Premier League starts, absolutely fine. The season is long. The season is 9 months. So it doesn't matter. Doesn't really mean that if you don't get him this week, we don't have to get him, or it's a bad idea to get him. No, even if we get him on August 12th, 3 days before the season starts, it's fine. He'll probably miss the first game of the season, but as long as he's there for the rest of the season, it's still beneficial for us. I would love him to join us right now, today or tomorrow, to get involved in the preseason games that are remaining, Liverpool, Leverkusen, and Lyon. But that will be a difficult deal to do. It's not going to take 2-3 days. We have to agree terms. We have to agree with the team. That release clause, the wages, everything. It's going to take a lot of time to do all of that. Probably the same amount of time it took with the Calafiori deal. Unless you had already made progress before, I am not sure. But we have to wait and see. This one would take a lot of time. And would any other team come in for him if they hear that, hey, Sporting are reducing the price? I don't think it's only going to be Arsenal going for him, especially if we hear Sporting are reducing the price. You will hear 2 or 3 other teams. One team, now it's going to depend on how much you've done in terms of agreeing personal terms with the player, and if he really wants to join Arsenal, that is what would matter. But at least we are making some moves for him, and this was reported a week ago. Sporting are willing to drop the price to 60 million. If they drop it to 60 million, will Chelsea come back for him? Will other teams come back for him? We have to wait and see. But I think that would be a good deal. Let's wait and see what happens this week with Victor Gyökeres. So we did send scouts there, and that is the latest on that one. Calafiori has just arrived in the USA, according to Sky Sports. Ricardo Calafiori is now in the USA ahead of completing his move to Arsenal and meeting his new teammate. So that one is finally getting done. Since we have a game on Thursday morning, I would expect them to announce him very, very quickly. Usually Arsenal signings take a lot of time before they announce, especially if preseason is starting like early July and then we sign a player early June. We would wait like 2-3 weeks sometimes to hear an announcement. But this one, I think it has to be done quickly because you are expecting to be in the squad to face Liverpool. That is the main reason why he's traveled to the USA to take part in a couple of training sessions, to meet the teammates, to meet Arteta, and probably to make an appearance in that Liverpool game. Otherwise, there would not have been any need of him to travel. They would have just waited for the rest of the team to come back this week and then meet them in England and meet the manager in England. But I think they want him to play a part in that Liverpool game. So we will finally see Calafiori making his debut in that game. But let's wait for the announcement. It's finally done. We've waited a long time. Details once again, we are going to pay 40 million in euros first, and then 5 million in add-ons later on. 45 million package, I think that is a very, very good deal for Calafiori. We finally have our new signing, and in terms of the defenders that we have over in the USA, we don't have the likes of Saliba, we don't have the likes of Tomiyasu, so we are missing a few defenders. So I think he could play some part in terms of the squad. We've had to play the likes of Heaven and players like Lewis Kelly at left back, who is originally a midfielder, usually a midfielder. So I think I'd not be surprised if we do see Calafiori either starting or coming off the bench. I'll have my preview for that game later on today. So Calafiori is in the USA. Let's wait and see how that one develops. I think his medical is definitely 100% complete. I don't think there's any other details he's going to finalize apart from maybe meeting the teammates and then meeting the coach and all that. And then probably next week, is going to be shown around the training ground and all that, or maybe that has already happened. But Edu wasn't there. He's the one who usually does that, and there's another lady who does that as well. But maybe that is finalized already. But Calafiori in the USA, that one is done. Now, one of the deals that Edu could be back in England to finalize could be Mikel Marino. What's the latest on him? This is the latest on Mikel Marino from Martin Moreto. Arsenal's interest in Mikel Marino is alive after new talks in recent days. Atletico Madrid tried to include him in the deal for Lenormand, but the player delayed. Barcelona are also interested, but are focused on other targets right now. So this is one player. I've always said I was 98, 99% sure Calafiori would join Arsenal. Last year I said I was 100% Rice would join Arsenal. Players like Nico Williams, like I can't lie to you, I'm not anywhere near confident they join Arsenal because there's a huge chance to stay at Bilbao. There's a huge chance to go to Barcelona, as I've always said. But this particular player, Marino, everything that we've talked about, how much it cost, 30 million euros only, the fact that he's very good in terms of duels and physicality in midfield, the kind of player that wants in that midfield. 28 years of age. We are trying to look for other players like Trossard and Jorginho in terms of experience, not really young, 22, 23, like just right in their prime. Marino fits everything like that. And we've also been told that Marino has already said that he would be happy to join Arsenal. So a lot is pointing out to this deal happening very soon. This one is one we could have a breakthrough this week, and we could easily see him making his debut for Arsenal in the at the Emirates Cup, but in the Emirates Cup, but no rush in terms of me saying whether the deal's done or not. But I think they will get it finalized very, very quickly. I think this one will get done very quickly. The player is still on holiday though. I don't know which day is coming back. I've seen Declan Rice is in Dubai, is already training, so we're expecting him back at the Emirates very soon. Saka has been in Los Angeles. He didn't really join up with the team, but maybe attended a game or something. I expect him back right after Arsenal land back in England. I expect those players to join: Ramsdale, Raya, Saliba, who else? Saka, Rice. Those are the players who are missing. Tomiyasu, for those who've been asking, Tomiyasu after the injury, they said he's going to be out for 3 weeks. It's already like 10 days since then, so around 10 more days to go until we see Tomiyasu back. So that is the latest on Mikel Marino. I'm expecting this deal hopefully to be finalized very, very soon. You can get our second signing through the door. And Timmy's and Ticks had this to report yesterday. Arsenal are closing in on the deal for Mikel Marino, so even more proof that this one is going to be done. We've not really heard about any other team apart from Atletico Madrid and Barcelona. And as we've been told, Barcelona focused on other deals, Nico Williams, Olmo, and those guys. And for Atletico Madrid, the player delayed, and I think from what we've heard as well, that the player would want to join Arsenal ahead of Atletico Madrid. It would surprise me quite much because I usually expect those players from Spain, as I've always said, to go to Real Madrid, Atletico, Barcelona. But if he actually does want to join Arsenal and he's already had those talks at it and he's already been convinced, then that is one that Edu could be back in England to finalize. Another deal he could be there to finalize, and we could actually be waiting for this deal to go through fast before signing Marino using that money, is Emil Smith. According to Melissa Reddy of Sky Sports, she says the feeling is that Emil Smith could seal his move to Fulham this week, with just the final details of the agreement left to finalize the transfer. So I don't know. Last season, Balogun traveled without the rest of the team, like he went back to complete his move. I think Smith has traveled with the rest of the team to Philadelphia. He's going to be part of it, but he's not going to play. I guess when he go back to England, that's when he's going to move to Fulham. But if Fulham want him, by tomorrow, Wednesday, then he has to travel by himself and his agent back to England, back to London, and then complete his move, depending on when Fulham want him and when Fulham are going to finalize the deal. And if Fulham have a game anytime soon and they want Smith to be part of that, then he cannot be part of the Arsenal team all the way to Friday, Saturday. It's Monday, so that is a full week. Arsenal is going to play on Thursday morning and probably travel back to England on Thursday night and arrive on Friday. So that's a long time if Fulham want him right now. And also keeping a player around who's definitely not going to play. He didn't even get picked for the squad against United. He didn't play against Leyton Orient, against Bournemouth. He didn't play. That is because he's definitely going to move on. So unless we're just keeping him around until we get the final fee, and if Fulham back out, then Smith is going to stay. I don't know, but I'm expecting this deal to be finalized, as Melissa Reddy has said. Agreement left to finalize the transfer. So Smith Rowe, when we get that 35 million, I guess that is what you're going to use to buy Marino. We've been told that we are waiting to make some sales to get some transfers, some new signings in. We can't just sign GYOKERES and sign Marino without selling any early players. We have sold a few players, but most of them are getting the money next season, the likes of Tavares. Lokonga is an option to buy. Players are still here that have been linked to moves away. Ramsdale, Smith, Nketiah, Nelson. So you haven't really sold anyone apart from Tavares and also Biereth. Not really any other players that we've sold apart from players who've left on a free and stuff. So Smith Rowe could be the first one that we sell for a significant amount of money that we can use elsewhere. What about the guy that is with him on the picture, Aaron Ramsdale? What's the latest on him? As reported yesterday, it's still the same situation. Nottingham Forest are interested in him. Also want 50 million, but I don't think any team will pay the 50 million. So I think Ramsdale could easily, 2-3 things could happen with Ramsdale here. It could end up like not getting any offers from any team, and then also like, listen, there's no offers. We are not going to sell you for 5 million. We have to keep you. You're going to keep you until January, and then in January we are going to see if we can get you a move away. In January, you're going to maybe feature in the Carabao Cup games throughout the season or something. That is option one. Option two, a team comes in for him as Arsenal want. Someone comes and pays us that 35, 36 million, and Arsenal are ready to accept that, and then he moves on this transfer window. That is not going to happen today or tomorrow. I expect that to happen maybe at the middle of August or the end of August. or Nottingham Forest. The way Nottingham Forest gambling on this, maybe this could be another way of this deal going. Maybe Arsenal get to August 24th, 25th there, and Ramsey is getting frustrated. He hasn't played the first 3 games, and there's no team that has not made any offers for him, or teams have made offers for him, but they only really want him on loan. Teams like Nottingham Forest, then Arsenal would need to probably, if they want to keep him around, send him out on loan and then hope he goes and does well in that team that he goes to, and then sell him next season, or sell him at the end of next season, yes, for money next season, or option to buy, obligation to buy, whichever it is. That could be an option as well. But the Aaron Ramsey one is a bit complicated. I thought he'd be bought very, very quickly, but no teams have really made any offers for him. I don't know. It's because is it because teams are not really ready to pay that amount of money right now, or teams don't really need goalkeepers right now? It could be a reason. So let's see how that one goes. So it depends on whether Ramsey wants to stay. Is okay to stay until January. If Arsenal want to keep him until January, at the moment we still don't have a second choice goalkeeper. We've signed goalkeepers yet, yes, but Karl Hein will go out on loan. Setford, Nigard, and we're not going to be surprised if one of them goes out on loan and the other is the under 21 goalkeeper, under 18 goalkeeper next season, which will mean you don't really have a backup goalkeeper maybe until we sell Ramsey and bring one in. That could be a reason. So lastly, not transfer news, but Timba. This is what I had to say about Timba yesterday. Now he's getting the rhythm because obviously he's missed a lot of football in the last year or so. Just look at him, his pressing, his leadership, his composure. He's like a new signing for us and a big addition to the team. We've asked him to play in a different position than we had in mind due to the numbers and the players we have at the moment, but I'm really happy. So that was very interesting because Timba has been playing as a centre-back for us during this preseason. And Atta basically says he's not really going to be our centre back. And no, there is Saliba there, there's Gabriel there could be Calafiori there. So Timba is going to either play as a right back or a left back next season, or maybe both of them. So really looking forward to see how he does, because in the preseason so far, he's been absolutely incredible as a centre back. The way he can carry the ball as well, very comfortable on the ball. The other day, I think he intercepted the ball in midfield and then ran with it, and I think created a chance for one of the forward players. I think it was against Bournemouth. Absolutely incredible player. And this is a player that we don't even have in our starting lineup as majority of the fans. People are like, it's going to be Calafiori, Gabriel, Saliba, and Ben White. Timba himself is really good. We signed him for almost 50 million as well last season. He was unlucky with the injury. So this is another player who's going to, be really, really crucial for us next this upcoming season. So that is what Atta had to say about him. Could we see him playing next to Calafiori in midweek against Liverpool? Let's wait and see. But that's the latest transfer news. Let me know what you make about everything we discussed. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you on the next one.